Hey everyone, and welcome back to another video. This one is a little bit late at night, so sorry about post day this, and if the lighting is not the greatest, that would be why I can't film these when the kids are awake. So today I wanted to share with you guys what I'm putting in our advent calendar this year. So first of all, I'm going to add a clip of our advent calendar here while I talk. You guys can take a look. I got this advent calendar a few years ago from Target when Target was still in Canada. It has pockets, like little pouches in it, and they open quite wide. I was looking for something that wouldn't take up too much room, but would allow more than like a tiny little square of chocolate. So we have loved this advent calendar and used it every year, and I don't think it's going to go anywhere anytime soon. I love that it's fabric, so that if something happens or it breaks or something, I can easily fix it, sew it back together, whatever the need there is, it can be fixed. So I try and keep advent calendar fillers really cheap, while at the same time I try not to fill them with like junky little toys. Don't get me wrong, there are definitely some little junky bits in our advent calendars because it's really hard to find things that are so small to put in there. I typically try and alternate between treats and like a little gift, because I just think a treat every day is way too much since we do so much baking and, you know, drinking hot cocoa, and there's so many treats in the season. I just don't want to overwhelm their systems with too much sugar and too much chocolate, and I feel like if I put a treat in the calendar every day, it would just be a lot. And also I think they would be bored of that, so because my kids aren't the most sweet kids. They're very sweet kids, but they don't like sweets the most. So for me, advent calendars are all about keeping it really simple, really affordable. You're already, you know, buying so many things. We do a big North Pole breakfast on the 1st when Advent starts. We do St. Nicholas Day on the 6th where their shoes get filled. So anything that you see in this video that might not fit into my advent calendar, because there's a couple of things that like might not get used, I'll just pop those into the shoes on St. Nicholas Day. So without further ado, I'm just going to show you what I got and what I'm putting in our advent calendar this year. So first of all, I think I will start with treats and just kind of show you the treats I'm putting in here. Now, maybe this is lazy, maybe this is incredibly genius, I don't know, this is just what I do. For the treats, I usually, if you guys watched our vlogs, if you're not new and you watched our vlogs in October, then you know the kids hold in so much candy on Halloween. We always have like copious amounts left over. I still have candy in the closet. Nobody cares about it anymore. Nobody wants it. So, and it's still like all good candy. But I pulled out all the boxes of Smarties. I just had to ask Cody a question because I mentioned Smarties, because I know the majority of my audience are American. So I realize you guys don't have Smarties. Smarties are these little packages right here. So I pulled out all of these from Halloween, and Smarties are chocolates. They're like they're like an M&M but different. Yeah, so I pulled out about like a ton of boxes of Smarties, not even all of them. And so these will fit into our advent calendar quite nicely. And that's the other thing, I have to fit two. I have to have something small that can fit two of each thing into the advent calendar. So just from our Halloween stuff, I pulled out a bunch of these little boxes. I have tons of them, and I'm just kind of recycling because I don't see the point of buying like crappy Christmas themed chocolate from the dollar store. I did that, but I don't see the point of doing like that all the way through the whole thing. If I already have like decent chocolate, sometimes I go to Costco and I buy a giant pack of like the Swiss chocolates, and because they're nice and small, and I'll put 2 in there. But this year I had so many leftover Smarties that I was like, okay, I'm just going to use those, and I'm also going to alternate them with little suckers, the little Tootsie Pops. So I had tons of these as well. So I just thought that those would be something my kids really enjoy. none of the boxes are like Halloween themed or anything, so it's totally fine. Candy's candy, right? So that is what we're doing for treats in the advent calendar. I also picked up a couple of other things. I picked up these little, from the dollar store, I picked up these little like marshmallow Santas, but I don't know if I'm gonna put these in my advent calendar. I'm crazy and I wrap everything in the advent calendar because I don't want the kids to like peek at the next thing. I want it to be exciting for them to like not know. Usually they kind of get a gist of what they're gonna get because I alternate everything, so they're not necessarily expecting it. But I don't know if these are gonna fit. So either I might have them like kind of sticking out, or I might just put these aside and pop them in the St. Nicholas shoes. I haven't decided yet. Maybe I'll give them to them on the 1st as like this special Happy December thing. I don't know, but I thought they would enjoy these, so I picked them up. Okay, for more foodie bits, like I was saying about like crappy dollar store chocolates or whatever, I did buy a couple, dropping them because I was shopping. I was like picking up all the advent stuff with my friend. We went out and grabbed a coffee and just wandered and picked up all the little advent things for like a little girl date. And we saw these and they were like hazelnut, like Rice Krispie filled little chocolate balls. So I thought these would be like a little different. I don't know. I feel like kids like the dollar store chocolates more than adults do. I feel like you become an adult and you're like, oh, those aren't actually as good as I remember them. So I'm hoping my kids think they're good. But they're so small, I figured they would make great little treats to put in there. And this is way more treats than I usually do. And I don't know how many of the Smarties and suckers I'm going to put in there. So we will see. But let's move on to what I got that are not food items to put into the advent calendar. This year I just went full dollar store because I was kind of at a loss for what to do. I want to talk about this for a minute before I move on. There have been years before, like, we do Elf on the Shelf, but not Elf on the Shelf. We have like different elves. They don't look like Elf on the Shelf. And we have always done kindness elves, where our elves will do silly things. They never do naughty things. We don't do the whole report back to Santa thing. If you guys want a video on like how we do Santa and stuff, like an updated one, I don't know. I did one years ago, but I don't know how many of you watched back then. So if that came up in a comment that I was just replying to today. So if you guys want to hear about that or anything, or want a video on that, just let me know in the comments below and I will do that if that's what you want to see. But anyway, we do kindness elves, and our elves are not like watching them or reporting back or anything like that. They are just here to enjoy the season with us. They do silly things. They don't do anything naughty. They don't do anything rude or messy. It's always just funny little things, and also prompts for like doing kind deeds. So that is kind of where that falls in. And then we have a Christmas bucket list, and we also just try and do as many kind things as we can in the season. Obviously that's what Christmas is all about, so we kind of already have that covered. In years past I did put like a little note in each day where it was like, do this kind thing, or like an activity, or just like a random act of kindness. However, I found that it was really hard to keep up with, and I had a really hard time trying to match it to our like schedule in December, like going through the calendar and being like, oh, I can't have, you know, us going to this place on this day because on this day we're going to this place. So I found that it was just a little bit of overkill to put it in the advent calendar as well. So I just wanted to mention that has been something we've done in the past, and maybe that would work really well for your family. But because it's in so many other aspects of our Christmas, we've just taken it out of the advent calendar. But I used to write little notes and put them in there as well as a little treat on the side. This year though, I was kind of at a loss for what to put in them. Last year I did Lego because we had we had Lego advent calendars, and then friends of ours, they always get Lego advent calendars from like their parents still give it to them even though they're adults. It's awesome and funny. But they had like extra packs from those Lego advent calendars of build up over the past few years. And they just gave it to us and we're like, hey, can you make use of this? And I was like, yeah. So I was able to fill my whole advent calendar last year with those little extra Lego packs. So my kids just like had like a whole Lego advent calendar season. And now this year I was like, what am I going to do? However, my kids requested that they have some of the items that I had in previous years. Sorry, my husband breathes very deeply. Apparently he's playing games just to the side of me, so if you heard that, apologies. Okay, so this is one of the items that they requested. Everything is from the dollar store, Dollarama specifically. These little notepads. So we've got reindeer and we've got Santa and we have a penguin. I did this a few years ago. I gave them little notepads like this from the dollar store. They just come in those big packs in the Christmas section. And there's a ton of them. But my kids love to just like bring these around and pretend they're investigators or like, I don't know, Scooby-Doo gang, like going around solving mysteries or taking their notes. Really funny. They love them. So, and they're really thin, so I can easily stick 2 in each calendar slot. So I picked up those. And then along with those, I found these little Christmas themed pens. So I thought they would be cute to just put in there every, like put a couple in there every other day. So like it'd be like, oh, one day you get a notepad and then you get a pen. You know how it goes. Then chocolate. I'll just like rotate them. So I think these are like Centos, scented mini. I didn't realize they were scented until after I bought them, but they're cute. Whatever. They're small, so the pencils are always too big and the kids are like, oh, that's a pencil. So, but I did pick up these little holiday erasers. My kids love the little erasers. We homeschool. If you are new here, hello. Yeah, we homeschool, so anything that we can use, you know, throughout our school days that'll make things just a little more festive and a little more fun are always really enjoyed. And I don't know what it is about kids and cute erasers, but they are always so eager to have adorable little erasers. So I figured these would be really good to divide up. And there are some, because I have 2 kids, where I'm going to have one extra, and I'll just like sneak the extra one into our like art cart eventually, and they won't care. It'll just become part of everything else. And then I only got one other thing. I think I have enough stuff. There was one other thing I might pick up if I don't have enough, but I think when I take it all apart and take it all out and rotate it, it'll be plenty, because it's only 24 days. The other thing I got were these little stained glass sun catchers. These are like $2.50, but they're little plastic ornaments, and they come with paint, and we have tons of paint, so I'm not going to put the paint in there. I'm just going to like pull out the paint when they get one of these and be like, yay, let's paint them. But because they're individual and I figured I could, and they're small, I can put them, separate them and put them in, and I thought that'd be a fun little craft to add in there. I like anything small that I can add in, like a craft or something, or an ornament they can make. I love to find that kind of stuff. So that's actually it. It's so simple. I'm keeping it super, super easy and simple. The simpler it is, the easier on me, and I find they get just as much joy out of it. So yeah, I saw stamps that were really cute, like little wooden stamps that were all Christmas themed, and I was going to buy them, but I think I have enough. So if I find myself like with a hole or feeling like I need to fill maybe a couple more days, then I might go back and pick up those stamps and just separate them. But I hope this was helpful for you guys. I tried to share it earlier. Sorry, it's a little last minute, but I went out and got these like 2 nights ago, so I am also last minute on these advent fillers. But let me know what you guys put in your advent calendar, if you have something that's like bigger than just the chocolate windows. Hopefully this gave you maybe a little bit of inspiration or ideas if you're struggling like I was to fill up your advent calendar. I'm so excited for these videos to start rolling out, like these like what's in this kind of stockings and what I got my kids for Christmas. Those will be coming. So thank you for watching, you guys. If you are new or you're not subscribed already, I would love to have you as part of my little community here, my little slice of internet home. So hit that subscribe button. You can also click on our family picture at the end when this video ends and my end slate pops up. Turn on that bell notification so you are getting all of my videos when they pop up. And of course, if you like this video and you found it helpful and you just want to support me, then give this video a thumbs up. We will see you guys in my next one tomorrow or the next day. Thanks, you guys. See you when we see you. Bye.